The rain fell hard on New Seoul's outer district. Park Ji-ho pulled his worn jacket tighter as he locked up his small repair shop. At 42, his face showed the marks of a hard life. 8 years in the military, then 15 more fixing machines in this forgotten corner of the city. His hands were rough, but they knew how to make broken things work again. Ji-ho looked up at the night sky. Something felt wrong. The clouds moved too fast, and there was a strange glow behind them that shouldn't be there. As he turned to walk home, a loud boom shook the ground. What the? Ji-ho stumbled as a flash of blue light cut across the sky. The light grew closer. Ji-ho should have run, but he stood still, watching. The blue light crashed into the empty lot behind his shop. The ground shook again. Steel pieces and dirt flew everywhere. When the dust cleared, Ji-ho saw it. The thing looked partly like a large animal and partly like a machine. It had 4 long legs made of some kind of metal that moved like muscle. Its body was covered in armor that shifted and changed color. On top sat a rider in a black suit. The rider jumped down. It was a woman. She pulled off her helmet, and long black hair fell around her shoulders. Her face was pretty but hard, with a small scar above her right eye. "Are you hurt?" Ji-ho asked, stepping closer. The woman turned quickly. Her hand moved to her hip, where a strange gun was strapped. "Stay back," she said in perfect Korean. "Identify yourself." Ji-ho raised his hands. "Park Ji-ho. This is my shop. You crashed into my lot. Who are you?" The woman studied him for a long moment. Then she seemed to relax a little. "Captain Seo Hana, Galactic Union Special Forces." She looked around. "Is this area secure?" Ji-ho laughed. "Secure? This is just a poor district. No one important comes here." He looked at her strange mount. "What is that thing?" "A Chimera-class combat vehicle," Hana said. The creature machine made a low sound, almost like a purr. "Biomechanical. Half-grown, half-built." Ji-ho walked closer to the Chimera. Its eyes glowed blue, following his movement. Up close, he could see how the metal parts grew into what looked like skin or scales. "I've never seen anything like this," he said. "Of course not. Your world's governments have kept our existence secret." Hana pulled out a small device from her pocket. "But that's about to change." The device projected a 3D image in the air. Ji-ho saw star systems, planets, and then a swarm of something moving between them. "What am I looking at?" he asked. "The Void Stalkers, an enemy species moving toward your solar system." Hana's face grew serious. "They've destroyed 6 worlds already. Earth is next." Ji-ho shook his head. "If this is true, why are you telling me? I'm nobody." Hana smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "My ship was damaged. I need repairs and a place to hide until my team can find me. Your military record says you were good with field repairs. And this place," she looked at his shop, "is perfect for staying out of sight." "How do you know about my military record?" Ji-ho asked, feeling uneasy. "The Union knows everything about potential allies." Hana touched her Chimera's neck, and it bent down, allowing her to take something from a compartment in its side. She held out a small metal box. "This contains technology your world has never seen. Help me, and it's yours." Ji-ho looked at the box, then at the Chimera with its strange moving parts. He should turn away. Tell her to find someone else. But curiosity won. "Show me what's in the box," he said. Hana opened it. Inside was a tool that glowed with the same blue light as her Chimera. "This can fix almost anything. Even things your science says can't be fixed." Ji-ho thought of his bad knee. The one doctor said would always hurt. He thought of his quiet, empty life fixing old machines. "You can stay 3 days," he said. "Then I want you gone." Hana nodded. 3 days is all I need." As Ji-ho led her to his shop, the sky flashed again. More blue lights were falling. The Chimera made a sound like a growl. "Friends of yours?" Ji-ho asked. No, Hannah said, her hand moving to her weapon. Those aren't Union ships. 3 hours after the blue lights fell, Jai-Ho's neighborhood burned. The attack had been quick and deadly. Strange shadow-like creatures had poured from the fallen objects. They moved like smoke but cut like steel. Jai-Ho helped pull his neighbor, old Mr. Lee, from his collapsed home. What were those things? Mr. Lee asked, his voice shaking. Void Stalker Scouts, Hannah said, appearing beside them. Her black suit was torn and blood ran down her arm. This was just a small group, testing Earth's defenses. Jai-Ho looked at the destruction around him. 5 buildings destroyed. At least 10 people dead. Some test. Hannah's Chimera moved through the smoke, its metal legs making soft sounds on the broken ground. Its armor had changed color to match the night sky. We need to go, Hannah said. More will come. Jai-Ho shook his head. I need to help these people first. There's no time. Hannah grabbed his arm. The scouts were looking for something. Maybe me, maybe my Chimera. Either way, you're not safe here anymore. A small cry came from beneath a pile of metal sheets. Jai-Ho pulled away from Hannah and ran to the sound. He moved the sheets aside and found something. It wasn't human. About the size of a large dog, but with 6 thin legs and skin that looked like dark metal. Its eyes were red dots that flickered like dying lights. A long cut ran down its side, leaking blue fluid. Get back, Hannah shouted, raising her weapon. That's a stray Void Stalker attack unit. The creature made the crying sound again. It tried to move but couldn't. One of its legs was crushed. It's hurt, Jai-Ho said. It's a weapon, Hannah replied. Designed to kill. Step aside. Jai-Ho didn't move. It's injured and alone. If it wanted to kill me, it would have tried by now. The thing's red eyes focused on Jai-Ho. He saw something there. Fear? Pain? He wasn't sure, but it wasn't the blank look of a machine. My team will be here soon, Hannah said. We need to secure the area. That means destroying any enemy units. Jai-Ho had seen enough death in the military. He knew a wounded soldier when he saw one, even if it wasn't human. Go meet your team, he said. I'll check the other buildings for survivors. Hannah looked at him for a long moment. Fine, but stay alert. I'll be back in 20 minutes. As soon as she was gone, Jai-Ho carefully lifted the creature. It was lighter than it looked. Its skin felt warm, not cold like metal should. The creature didn't fight him. I don't know if you understand me, Jai-Ho said softly, but I'm going to help you. He carried it to his workshop basement and placed it on an old table. The military had trained him as a combat medic. He knew how to stop bleeding and set bones. But this was different. The blue fluid was still leaking from the creature's side. Jai-Ho cleaned the wound with water. The creature watched him, but stayed still. What are you? Jai-Ho asked, not expecting an answer. He found some strong glue in his toolkit and carefully sealed the cut. Then he used metal pieces and wire to make a splint for the broken leg. The creature's red eyes never left him. When he finished, it made a soft clicking sound. You're welcome, Jai-Ho said. I'll call you Duri. It means 2 in our language. You seem like 2 things in one, not just machine, not just animal. He heard Hannah's voice outside. She was talking to someone. I need to go, Jai-Ho told Duri. Stay quiet and don't move. I'll be back. As Jai-Ho climbed the stairs, he wondered what he was doing. Hiding an enemy weapon, helping a creature that had attacked his home. But when Duri had looked at him with those flickering red eyes, Jai-Ho had seen something familiar. The same lost look he'd had when he returned from war. The look of something that had been used and then thrown away. Jai-Ho opened the door to meet Hannah and her team. Whatever Duri was, whatever it had done, it deserved a chance. Just like Jai-Ho had gotten one after the war. A week passed. More attacks hit cities around the world. The news called them terrorist attacks, but Jai-Ho knew the truth. The Void Stalkers were testing Earth's defenses, looking for weak spots. From his roof, Jiho watched Hana and her team fight. There were 5 of them now, each riding a Chimera. The machines moved like large cats, fast and deadly. Their metal parts glowed blue as they leaked between buildings. When they fought, they changed shape, growing blades and weapons from their bodies. "She's amazing," Jiho said to himself as Hana's Chimera jumped 50 feet in the air, then came down on a Void Stalker scout. She moved as one with her mount, like they shared one mind. But something bothered Jiho. In battle, Hana was cold. She killed without pause, without mercy. Yet when she visited his shop after, she was kind, even funny. She brought him coffee and asked about his life. 2 different people in one body. Jiho went back inside and down to the basement. Duri was getting stronger each day. The broken leg was healing fast, and the cut had closed up completely. "Look what I brought you," Jiho said, showing the creature a piece of scrap metal. He had learned that Duri ate metal, somehow turning it into energy. Duri moved closer, its red eyes now bright and clear. It took the metal gently from Jiho's hand. As it ate, Jiho noticed something new. Small marks were appearing on Duri's skin, like writing or symbols. "What are you trying to tell me?" Jiho asked. Duri finished eating, then used one leg to draw in the dust on the floor. The marks looked like parts of a machine. "Are these Chimera parts?" Jiho asked. Duri made a clicking sound that Jiho had come to recognize as yes. The creature pointed to different parts of the drawing, making sharp cutting motions. "Weak spots," Jiho realized. "You're showing me how to hurt a Chimera." Duri clicked again. Jiho sat back, thinking, "Why would you show me this? Aren't the Void Stalkers your people?" The creature moved closer to Jiho. It placed one thin leg on his hand, very gently. Then it drew more symbols in the dust. Different ones. Jiho didn't understand them, but he felt what Duri was trying to say. The Void Stalkers had used Duri, created it as a weapon. But Duri was more than that now. Just like Jiho had been used as a soldier, then thrown aside when he was damaged. Perhaps they were not so different. A loud noise came from upstairs. The shop door opening. "Jiho," Hana's voice called. "Are you here?" "Stay quiet," Jiho whispered to Duri. He quickly covered the drawings with his foot, then went upstairs. Hana stood in his shop. She had changed from her battle suit into regular clothes. Her hair was down, and she smiled when she saw him. "I brought dinner," she said, holding up a bag of food. "You've been helping us for days. It's the least I can do." They sat at his small table and ate. Hana talked about her home planet, a place with 3 moons and oceans that glowed at night. She didn't mention the fighting or the dead. "Why Earth?" Jiho asked. "Why do the Void Stalkers want our planet?" Hana's smile faded. "They don't want your planet. They want humans." She put down her chopsticks. "Your brains have a unique pattern. You can connect with chimeras better than any other species we found." "You want human pilots," Jiho said, understanding now. "The Union needs allies in this war." Hana reached across the table and took his hand. "People like you, Jiho. You could pilot a Chimera. You have the right mind for it." Jiho thought of the creatures downstairs, of the marks it had shown him. Weak spots in Chimera armor. "I need to think about it," he said. Hana nodded. "Of course." She leaned forward and kissed his cheek. "But don't think too long. The Void Stalkers are getting closer. Soon, everyone will have to choose a side." After she left, Jiho went back to the basement. Duri had erased all the drawings and sat quietly in the corner. "She wants me to ride a Chimera," Jiho told the creature. "To fight your people." Duri's eyes flashed once. It drew a new symbol in the dust, a simple circle with a line through it. 2 days later, Hana took Jiho to the Union's hidden base. They flew there on her Chimera, racing over the city at night. Jiho held tight to Hana's waist as the wind rushed past them. Below, the city lights looked like stars. The base was inside a mountain, hidden from human eyes. Large doors opened in the rock face as they approached. Inside, Jai-Ho saw more chimeras than he could count. Some were small and fast. Others were huge with heavy weapons growing from their bodies. "This is just a small force," Hannah said as they landed. "The main fleet is still in space." A tall man with cold eyes met them. "Captain Seo, why is this human here?" "Director Kim, this is Park Jai-Ho," Hannah said. "He has the right brain pattern for Chimera linking. I want him to see what we offer." Director Kim looked at Jai-Ho like he was looking at a tool, not a person. "Very well. Show him." They walked through the base. Jai-Ho saw humans in training rooms, wearing helmets that connected to small chimera parts. In another room, doctors studied brain scans. "What exactly do you want from humans?" Jai-Ho asked. Director Kim answered, "Your kind has a special talent. When connected to a chimera, humans can push them further than any other species. You feel what the chimera feels. You become one with it." "And what do humans get in return?" Jai-Ho asked. "Protection. Technology. A place in the Union," Hannah said quickly. Director Kim smiled without warmth. "And the honor of fighting for the right side." "How do you know yours is the right side?" Jai-Ho asked. The director's smile disappeared. "The Void Stalkers destroy worlds. We protect them. It's that simple." But Jai-Ho was starting to think it wasn't simple at all. Later, Hannah showed him her private room at the base. She had a small device that projected stars on the ceiling. They lay on her bed, looking up at the fake stars. "I grew up on a mining station," Hannah said softly. "My parents died in an accident when I was 10. The Union took me in, trained me." "They made you a soldier," Jai-Ho said. "They gave me purpose." Hannah turned to face him. "Just like I'm offering you purpose now." She kissed him, and Jai-Ho kissed her back. But in his mind, he saw Duri drawing symbols in the dust, showing him chimera weak points, warning him. That night, while Hannah slept, Jai-Ho used her computer. He searched the Union database, looking for information about the Void Stalkers and the Strays. What he found shocked him. The Strays weren't built by the Void Stalkers. They were young Void Stalkers, stolen and changed with Union technology, turned into weapons against their own kind. And the Chimeras. Jai-Ho found old reports about biological harvesting from Void Stalker worlds. The truth hit him hard. The Chimeras were made from Void Stalker children too, but changed even more. The beautiful machines Hannah and her team rode were transformed Void Stalker dung. Jai-Ho felt sick. He quickly closed the files and went back to bed. In the morning, Hannah flew him home. Jai-Ho was quiet the whole way. "Think about my offer," Hannah said as she dropped him at his shop. "You would make an excellent pilot." Jai-Ho nodded but said nothing. As soon as she was gone, he ran to the basement. Duri was waiting. The creature had grown stronger. Its skin now shone like polished metal. "I know what you are," Jai-Ho said. "I know what the Chimeras are too." Duri moved closer to Jai-Ho. It drew a new symbol in the dust, a circle with two smaller circles inside it. Then it drew a line connecting all three. "Family," Jai-Ho guessed. "The Chimeras are your family." Duri clicked loudly. "Yes." Just then, Jai-Ho heard a crash from upstairs. Someone had broken into his shop. Heavy footsteps moved across the floor. "Hide," Jai-Ho whispered to Duri. Too late. The basement door flew open. A tall Void Stalker stood there, its body like living shadow. It had no face, just a dark helmet with glowing red lines. In its hand was a weapon pointed at Jai-Ho's head. Before Jai-Ho could move, Duri leaped forward with shocking speed. It hit the Void Stalker in the chest. The two creatures crashed into the wall, fighting with metal claws and sharp legs. Jai-Ho grabbed a metal pipe and joined the fight. Together, he and Duri drove the attacker back up the stairs. In the shop, The Void Stalker stumbled and fell. Dury jumped on it, driving its sharp legs into the attacker's chest. Black fluid sprayed across the floor. The Void Stalker stopped moving. Jaiho stared at Dury in shock. "You killed one of your own kind. To save me." Dury's red eyes turned to Jaiho. It made a soft clicking sound and touched his hand gently with one leg. Not its kind anymore. Dury had chosen a new family. Jaiho couldn't sleep. The dead Void Stalker was hidden under scrap metal behind his shop. Its black blood still stained his floor. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the Union files again. Children stolen, changed into weapons. "What have I gotten into?" he whispered in the dark. Morning came. Jaiho went down to the basement. Dury was different today. The creature stood taller. The symbols on its skin glowed softly. It moved to Jaiho and touched his hand with a leg. Suddenly, pictures filled Jaiho's mind. Not words, but clear images. He saw a beautiful world with tall trees and 3 moons. He saw small creatures playing in purple grass. Then he saw Union ships, nets capturing the young ones, labs where they were cut open and changed. Jaiho fell to his knees, gasping. "Was that your home? Your memories?" Dury clicked. "Yes. The Void Stalkers aren't attacking without reason," Jaiho said. "They're trying to save their children." Dury drew in the dust again. This time, it was a picture of Hannah's Chimera. Then Dury drew a small version of itself inside the Chimera shape. The Chimeras have Void Stalker children inside them. They're still alive in there. Jaiho felt sick again. Dury clicked and scratched at its own metal skin, as if trying to show that its outside had been changed, but something inside was still the same. A loud knock came from the shop door. Jaiho heard Hannah's voice. "Jaiho, are you there? We need to talk." "Hide," Jaiho told Dury. The creature slipped behind some old machines. Jaiho went upstairs and opened the door. Hannah stood there in her black suit. Her face was serious. "A Void Stalker assassin was tracked to this area last night," she said. "Did you see anything?" Jaiho shook his head. "No, nothing." Hannah looked past him into the shop. "You have blood on your floor." Jaiho's heart beat faster. "I cut myself fixing an engine. It's nothing." Hannah didn't look convinced. She stepped into the shop. "The Union has decided to bring you in. For your safety." "I don't need protection," Jaiho said. "It's not a request." Hannah's hand moved to her weapon. "Director Kim has ordered it." Jaiho knew he had to distract her. "Before we go, I need to show you something I found. About the Void Stalkers." Hannah frowned. "What are you talking about?" "The Union database. I saw the files when I was at your base. About how chimeras are made." Hannah's face went pale. "Those files are restricted." "How did you?" "Is it true?" Jaiho asked. "Are chimeras made from Void Stalker children?" "It's more complicated than that," Hannah said. "The first chimeras were made that way, yes, but it was necessary. The Void Stalkers were already attacking Union worlds. The files I saw said the Union struck first. They took the children before any attacks." Hannah shook her head. "That's Void Stalker propaganda. They've always been violent. The Union did what was needed to protect everyone. By stealing children. By using resources to create weapons against a deadly enemy," Hannah said. Her voice was cold now. "How we made the first chimeras doesn't matter. What matters is that the Void Stalkers will destroy Earth if we don't stop them." "What if they just want their children back?" Jaiho asked. "Their children are gone. The chimeras aren't Void Stalkers anymore. They're Union weapons, and they're loyal to us." Hannah stepped closer to Jaiho. "Just like you should be." "I can't support this," Jaiho said. "It's wrong." Hannah's eyes hardened. "Then you're a threat to the mission." She raised her weapon. But before she could fire, something fast and metal hit her from behind. Dury knocked Hannah to the ground, then jumped back, hissing. Hannah rolled and fired her weapon. The blast hit some machines, sending parts flying. She stared at Dury in shock. A stray. You're hiding a stray. Hannah looked at Jaiho with hurt and anger in her eyes. You've betrayed me. Betrayed humanity. No, Jaiho said. I'm trying to save everyone, including you. He reached out his hand to her. Hannah, please, listen to what I found. There's a way to end this war without more killing. For a moment, Hannah seemed to waver. Then her face hardened again. There's only one way this war ends. She pressed a button on her wrist. With the Union's victory. An alarm sounded in the distance. Hannah smiled coldly at Jaiho. My team is coming. They'll capture your stray for study, and you'll face Union justice for treason. Jaiho looked at Dury, then back at Hannah. He had to choose a side now. And he knew which one was right. Run, Jaiho shouted to Dury. Get out the back door. But Dury didn't move. Instead, it stood between Jaiho and Hannah, ready to fight. Hannah got to her feet, weapon aimed at Dury. Stand down, Jaiho. This isn't a fight you can win. Outside, a loud roar shook the building. Hannah's Chimera had arrived. Its massive form cast a shadow through the window. Jaiho grabbed a wrench from his workbench. I don't want to fight you, Hannah. Too late for that. She fired at Dury again. The creature moved with amazing speed, dodging the blast. Jaiho rushed at Hannah, swinging the wrench to knock her weapon away. They fell to the floor, fighting for control. Stop, Jaiho shouted. Just listen to me. Traitor. Hannah kicked him off and rolled away. You chose an enemy weapon over your own kind. Before Jaiho could answer, the shop wall exploded. Hannah's Chimera crashed through, metal legs stomping on fallen bricks, its blue eyes fixed on Dury. Dury clicked rapidly, a sound Jaiho had never heard before. The Chimera paused. Its head tilted, as if listening. Attack, Hannah commanded. The Chimera didn't move. What are you waiting for? Attack. Hannah pressed buttons on her wrist control. The Chimera shook its head, like it was trying to clear its thoughts. Then it made a sound, half roar, half cry of pain. They can communicate, Jaiho realized. Dury and your Chimera. They recognize each other. Impossible, Hannah said, but her voice shook. Chimeras are completely reprogrammed. They have no memory of what they were. Dury moved closer to the Chimera, clicking softly. The larger creature bent down, bringing its face nearer to Dury's. Hannah looked scared now. No, this can't happen. She fired her weapon at Dury. This time, her shot hit. Dury fell back, blue fluid leaking from its side. Jaiho cried out and ran to the fallen creature. The Chimera roared, a sound of pure rage. It turned on Hannah, teeth bared. Stand down, Hannah shouted, backing away. Command override Alpha. The Chimera froze, then shook. Its body twitched as it fought against her control. Hannah pressed more buttons on her wrist. The Chimera cried out in pain but stopped moving toward her. Through the broken wall, Jaiho saw Union vehicles approaching. Soldiers poured out, weapons ready. It's over, Hannah said. A new voice spoke from the back of the shop. Not quite. A tall Korean man in a Union science uniform stepped forward. He held a strange device in his hands. Dr. Kim Tawan. Hannah looked confused. What are you doing here? My job. Finding the truth. Dr. Kim pressed a button on his device. Hannah's wrist controls sparked and went dark. The Chimera shook its head and backed away from her. What have you done? Hannah demanded. Temporarily block your override commands. Dr. Kim looked at Jaiho and Dury. I've been investigating the Chimera program for months. The official story never made sense. Then I tracked unusual data searches in our system. Yours, I believe. He nodded to Jaiho. You know the truth? Jaiho asked. That the Union started this war by stealing Void Stalker young. Yes. Dr. Kim looked sad. I built the first Chimera link systems. I never knew where the specimens came from. By the time I learned, it was too late. Traitor, Hannah spat at him. No, Captain. The real betrayal was lying to our people. Dr. Kim moved to Jaiho's side. We need to go. My security override won't last long. Jaiho carefully picked up the injured Duri. Where? I have a safe place, and others who know the truth. Dr. Kim looked at the Chimera, which was watching them closely. Your friend here seems to have broken her Chimera's conditioning. It might help us understand how to free the others. Hannah's face showed both rage and pain. Jaiho, please, don't do this. The Void Stalkers won't show mercy to Earth. Jaiho looked at her. He had cared for her, maybe even loved her, but she had chosen to believe the Union's lies. I'm sorry, Hannah. He turned away. This isn't over, she shouted as they escaped through the back. I will find you. As they fled into the night, Jaiho looked down at Duri in his arms. The creature's red eyes flickered weakly. They had to get somewhere safe, somewhere he could treat Duri's wound. Behind them, Hannah's voice faded, but her words echoed in Jaiho's mind. This wasn't over, not by a long shot. And next time, she wouldn't hesitate to kill them all. Dr. Kim's safe place was an old bunker under the mountains, built during the last war, now hidden by trees and rocks. Inside, 20 people worked at computers and strange machines. Some wore Union science uniforms. Others looked like regular people. Welcome to Hope Point, Dr. Kim said as they entered. The only place on Earth where we can speak freely. Jaiho carried Duri to a table where a woman waited with medical tools. Can you help it? He asked. Her name is Dr. Yoon. Dr. Kim said. She knows more about Void Stalker biology than anyone. Dr. Yoon examined Duri carefully. The damage isn't too bad. Strays heal quickly. She looked at Jaiho with wonder. How did you get it to trust you? Strays usually self-destruct if captured. I just helped it, Jaiho said. Treated it like a living being, not a weapon. Dr. Yoon began to fix Duri's wound. This one is special. Its coding has evolved. It's thinking for itself now. Dr. Kim led Jaiho to a large room filled with screens. Maps showed Union bases and Void Stalker positions around the world. We call ourselves the Truth Seekers, Dr. Kim explained. For 2 years, we've gathered evidence about what really started this war. A young woman approached them. Is it true? You have a stray that communicates. This is Li Min, Dr. Kim said, our best computer expert. Li Min looked excited. If your stray can communicate with Chimeras, we might be able to use it to broadcast a message to all of them at once. Jaiho looked at the screens. What good would that do? If the Chimeras learned the truth, that they were once Void Stalker children, they might break free from Union control, Dr. Kim said, like Hannah's Chimera started to do. And then what? Jaiho asked. Then we opened peace talks, a new voice said. A tall figure stepped from the shadows. It wasn't human. It looked like a Void Stalker, but different, less shadow-like. Its body was dark silver, and it had a face with glowing blue eyes. Jaiho backed away. What is that? Don't be afraid, Dr. Kim said. This is Mok, a Void Stalker ambassador. You speak our language? Jaiho asked, shocked. We have studied humans for many years, Mok said. Its voice was deep but clear. We needed to understand the species that rides our stolen children. The Union says you want to destroy Earth, Jaiho said. Mok made a sound like sad laughter. We want only our children returned to us. The ones you call chimeras and strays. Nothing more. Dr. Yoon entered the room. Your stray is asking for you, she told Jaiho. In the medical area, Duri sat up on the table. Its wound was closed. New symbols glowed on its metal skin. You're looking better, Jaiho said with relief. Duri clicked happily and jumped down. It moved to a computer and to Jaiho's surprise, began tapping on the keys with its thin legs. Words appeared on the screen. Help my fame nil. You can write. Jaiho was amazed. More earning, every day, Duri typed. Can help the free others. The Chimeras? Jaiho asked. You can communicate with them. Yes, but need bigger signal. Need access to Union network. Li Min looked at the screen and nodded. It's right. We need to get into the main Union base and access their Chimera control network. From there, we could broadcast to all Chimeras at once. That's impossible, Jaiho said. The base is too well guarded. Not for someone who's been invited in, Dr. Kim said. He looked at Jaiho. The Union still wants human pilots. Hannah offered you that chance, didn't she? Jaiho understood. You want me to pretend I'm turning myself in. Say I'll become a pilot. It's dangerous, Dr. Kim admitted. But it might be our only chance to end this war before more people die. Jaiho looked at Duri, who watched him with glowing red eyes. Then he thought of Hannah's face when she discovered his secret, the hurt in her eyes. What about Hannah? He asked. She'll know I'm lying. Captain Seo has been reassigned, Mok said. After losing her Chimera's loyalty, she is considered compromised. Jaiho felt a strange mix of relief and sadness. He didn't want to face Hannah again, but he also worried about what would happen to her. If we do this, Jaiho said, what happens to the Union soldiers? The pilots. We offer peace, Mok said simply. No punishment, no revenge. We want only to heal what was broken. Jaiho looked around the room. At Dr. Kim, at Li Min, at Duri, and at the Void Stalker ambassador. Humans and aliens working together for truth. When do we start? He asked. 3 days later, Jaiho walked into the Union base with his hands up. Guards surrounded him, weapons ready. I'm here to see Director Kim, Jaiho said. I want to join the Chimera program. The guards took him to a cell to wait. Jaiho carried a small device in his shoe that Li Min had made. It looked like nothing special, but it could connect to the Union's computers. After an hour, Director Kim arrived with 2 guards. Park Jaiho, the director said with a cold smile. I'm surprised to see you here. Captain Seo said you were helping the enemy. I was confused. Jaiho lied. I found a stray and didn't know what it was. But now I understand the danger. I want to fight for Earth. The director looked at him for a long moment. And the stray? Dead, Jaiho said. I killed it when I realized what it was. The director nodded slowly. Very well. We'll start your tests today. If you're telling the truth, you'll be given a chimera. If not, he smiled again. Well, we have ways to find the truth. They took Jaiho to a large room filled with machines. Doctors put wires on his head and showed him pictures of chimeras. They measured how his brain reacted. Excellent patterns, one doctor said. He's a perfect match for chimera linking. Take him to the connection chamber, Director Kim ordered. The connection chamber was a huge room with 50 chairs, each with a helmet attached. Young men and women sat in the chairs, helmets on their heads. Their eyes were closed, but their bodies twitched as if dreaming. These pilots are linked to chimeras fighting Void Stalkers right now, the director explained. They control the chimeras with their minds. Jaiho tried not to show his disgust. When do I start? Right now. The director pointed to an empty chair. We have a chimera that needs a new pilot. Its last one was unreliable. As Jaiho sat in the chair, he carefully removed the device from his shoe. When no one was looking, he plugged it into the chair's computer port. The helmet came down over his head. Jaiho felt strange energy flow through him. Then he wasn't in the room anymore. He was looking through different eyes, the eyes of a chimera. Jaiho could feel the creature's body like it was his own, its strength, its pain, and deeper down, its trapped mind crying for freedom. Through the Chimera's eyes, Jiho saw that he was in a holding bay with dozens of other chimeras. Some were huge with heavy weapons. Others were small and fast. "Can you hear me?" A voice spoke in his mind. It was Director Kim. "Move your chimera forward." Jiho made the chimera step forward. Its metal legs felt like his own. "Good," the director said. "Now prepare for battle." Void stalker ships have been spotted approaching the base. As Jiho controlled the Chimera, he felt Li Min's device activate. It sent signals through the network, reaching every Chimera in the Union. "What's happening?" the director's voice said suddenly. "Why are all the Chimeras waking up? They're not following commands." Jiho felt his Chimera shake as the hidden device did its work. Duri's message was spreading through the network. The truth about what the Chimeras really were. Alarms sounded in the base. Through his link, Jiho could feel other Chimeras breaking free from their pilot's control. Suddenly, the door to the connection chamber burst open. A familiar figure in a black suit stood there. Hana. Her face was hard, her eyes cold. She had a large weapon in her hands. When she saw Jiho in the chair, her eyes widened. "Stop the link," she shouted. "He's with the resistance." Guards ran toward Jiho. He tried to pull the helmet off, but it was locked in place. Then a strange sound filled the air, a high-pitched whine that made everyone cover their ears. All screens in the room showed the same image, Duri's face. "We know the truth," the screens displayed. "We are free now." Through his link, Jiho felt his Chimera break into the connection chamber, walls crumbling under its strength. Other Chimeras followed. Chaos erupted. Guards fired weapons. Pilots screamed as their links were broken. And in the middle of it all, Hana stared at Jiho, her weapon aimed at his heart. "You did this," she said. "You betrayed everyone." Jiho couldn't speak with the helmet on. He could only watch as Hana's finger tightened on the trigger. But before she could fire, something fast and metal flew into the room. Duri. It leaked between them, protecting Jiho. Hana froze, her eyes moving from Duri to Jiho. Then, to Jiho's surprise, her Chimera crashed through the wall behind her. The great beast looked at Hana, then at Jiho, then back at its former rider. Everyone in the room held their breath, waiting to see what would happen next. Time seemed to stop in the chaos of the connection chamber. Hana stood with her weapon pointed at Jiho. Duri crouched protectively in front of him, and Hana's Chimera watched them all with glowing blue eyes. "Move aside," Hana told Duri. "This is between me and him." Duri didn't budge. Instead, it began to click, a rapid pattern of sounds. The Chimera tilted its head, listening. Then it moved forward, placing itself between Hana and Jiho. "What are you doing?" Hana shouted at her former mount. "He's the enemy." Jiho finally managed to pull the helmet off. "No, Hana. I'm trying to end this war. The real enemy is the lie we've all been told." Around them, freed Chimeras were helping pilots out of their chairs. No killing, no revenge, just liberation. "Look around you," Jiho said. "If the Void Stalkers wanted to destroy us, they could do it right now. But they don't. They just want their children back." Hana's hand shook. "That's not possible. The Union wouldn't lie about something this big." "Wouldn't they?" Jiho stood slowly. "You've seen the files. You know what I found." Director Kim shouted from across the room. "Kill him, Captain CO." "That's an order." Hana's eyes darted between Jiho and the director. Her Chimera made a low sound, almost like a plea. Dr. Kim and Li Min rushed into the room with other resistance members. "It's working." Li Min cried. "Chimeras all over the world are breaking free." Mok, the Void Stalker ambassador, followed them in. When the Union guards saw him, they raised their weapons. "Hold your fire," Jiho shouted. "He's here to talk peace." Director Kim grabbed a weapon from a fallen guard. "This is treason." The Void Stalkers are monsters. They'll kill us all. He fired at Mach. The bullet hit the Void Stalker in the shoulder. Dark fluid spilled out. Before anyone could react, Director Kim aimed at Jeho. Hana saw it happening. Time slowed down. In that moment, Hana made her choice. She turned and fired at Director Kim. The shot hit his arm, making him drop his weapon. Enough, Hana shouted. No more killing. Guards and pilots alike stopped fighting, shocked by Hana's action. Captain Seo, Director Kim gasped, holding his wounded arm. You've doomed humanity. No, Hana said. I'm saving it. She lowered her weapon and walked to Jeho's side. I want to hear the truth. All of it. In the hours that followed, the truth spread across the world. Video calls connected Union leaders with Void Stalker ambassadors. Dr. Kim shared all the evidence he had collected over the years. The war that had nearly destroyed 2 species had been built on lies. The Union had stolen Void Stalker children to make living weapons, then claimed the Void Stalkers attacked first. 3 days later, Jeho stood on a hill outside New Seoul. Beside him was Duri, its metal skin shining in the sunlight. Below them, in a large field, hundreds of Chimeras gathered. Void Stalker ships landed nearby. Families were being reunited. Not all the Chimeras can go back to what they were, Jeho said. The changes are too deep for some, but they can be free to choose their own path now, a voice said behind him. Hana walked up the hill. Her face was tired but peaceful. Some Chimeras want to stay with their human partners, as equals, not weapons. And your Chimera? Jeho asked. She's going home, Hana said with a sad smile. Her family has been waiting for her. Jeho nodded. What will you do now? Help rebuild. Try to make things right. Hana looked at him. The Union Council has fallen. Earth is forming a new government, one that will deal honestly with other worlds. Duri clicked happily and moved to Jeho's side. The creature had grown again. New patterns covered its skin, not the marks of a weapon, but the writing of a free being. And you? Hana asked. What will you and your stray do? Jeho smiled. Duri isn't a stray anymore, and I'm not just a mechanic. He looked out at the field where 2 species were finding peace. We're going to help build something new, something better. Hana hesitated, then held out her hand to Jeho. Maybe I could help too. Jeho took her hand. People could change, worlds could change, even enemies could become friends. I'd like that, he said. Below them, a young Chimera bounded across the field, reunited with its Void Stalker family. Its metal parts caught the sunlight, beautiful and strange. She had ridden a Chimera of steel. He had walked with a stray that killed her old beliefs, her old loyalties, and together they had found a path to peace.